Someone asking here, will BTC dominance keep increasing, or is there an altcoin season on the horizon?
I do think it will go down. It just hasn't yet. Like, to me, just look at the chart and wait for it to break market structure. When we had this initial little drop, right, everyone was like, okay, this is it, right? We were all talking about like, okay, finally, this thing is topped. It finally had a pullback that kind of broke structure. And I posted a chart and I said, listen, guys, this is not a lower high until it makes a lower low. So a trend change requires a few things. So a lot of people will be like, okay, this thing's in an uptrend, and then bang, we're in a downtrend now, right? The thing is this can do this, and this is exactly what Bitcoin dominance did. This is not a trend change, and this is not a confirmed change of direction. This is not a lower high, excuse me, until you get that confirmation of, okay, now we actually have an actual trend change. Selling this bounce, which is how I take a lot of my setups. I wait for the structure shift. I'm guessing that this is going to continue lower. I'm not right until here, and my trade idea is wrong if it doesn't actually break structure and it keeps trading higher. And that's exactly what we saw on Bitcoin dominance here. We were all watching it, at least I was, and everyone was like, okay, finally made that lower low. And I was like, okay, it made a lower low, bang. We have the potential lower high, but this needed to then continue and make another lower low. That's the confirmation that you have of a trend change, and you ended up being wrong. I think it was an altcoin or a Bitcoin selling this pullback. I take that trade 100% of the time with my stop there. But my target is here and lower, hopefully. And of course, ended up being wrong. If you go look at the last nuke on Bitcoin dominance, it did exactly what I just explained there. There's your break, lower high, and then it's down. Like, this is now very clearly going down, taking out multiple higher lows, putting in multiple lower highs. That's a structure change. This, unfortunately, it was just kind of a fake out. It looked like a structure change. It ended up just being a deviation. This happens all the time, right? Like, look at Bitcoin back here. How many people were calling for the end of the bull run, you know, when we kind of lost these lows, right? And it looked ugly, but you have to be fluid. The moment this reclaimed and started going up again, your idea is wrong. So I'm like, I don't think a lot of people in altcoins really understand how math works, because they're like, well, how much more can my altcoin go down? The downside is limited. It can only go to 0. It's like, no, you can lose 99% an infinite amount of times. If you have $100 in an altcoin and it goes down 90%, you now have 10 bucks in that same coin. It's one SOL, let's just call it for easy math. SOL is $100, you own one. Here, you still own one SOL. It's now only worth 10. You now goes down 90% again. You still own one SOL. It's now only worth $1. And it can go again and again and again and again. And then the get back, once you're down here, you got to do a 9x to get back to break even. So the math is exponential to the downside. So it's a very common misconception in trading. It's like, how low can it go? It's like infinite, infinite. Go look at some of these altcoins from prior cycles. Like, you're telling me that this isn't like, this is the future for so many coins. And people wonder, well, how low, how shitty can it get for my coin? It can get real bad. Yeah. Because this might look like nothing relative to here, but each of these little drops on their own is 50, 80, 70, like depending on when you buy, another massive loss. So it's like, well, it's already down 99%. How much lower can it go? Well, if you bought it right here, it can go down 99% again and again. And many of the coins you're holding right now, this is what they're going to look like against Bitcoin over the long term. My most recent YouTube video, I cover exactly this. It's why you should buy Bitcoin, and altcoins, meme coins, whatever you're playing, are a tool for you to simply buy more Bitcoin at the end of the day, because everything underperforms Bitcoin over the long term.